And we are live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Gathering Paracast on the Cryptovania TV. My name is Stephanie.
And I'm Heidi, and we're gathered here tonight around the metaphysical table to kick off October, the spookiest of months.
Yes. This is when the veil is thin and stuff hits the fan.
Yeah. And we're doing the Paranormal Smorgasbord, which means we have our favorite people here tonight.
Yes, gathered around the metaphysical table with us. So we have Alan Yerxa Sr. from Canada. Sorry, I'm thinking about too many things all at once. Alan was just on about a month ago, and he's from the First Nations. He's a Bigfoot researcher, but he also does lots of paranormal stuff. So he said he wanted to join us to talk paranormal about what's happening up there. So welcome in again, Alan. And then, of course, we have our producer, our wonderful, magnificent producer, Jason Trost, with us as well. So welcome in.
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Hello.
Hi. Good. We were saying
Good to have you, Alan. I lost you. There we go.
Yes,
Okay.
It's good to be back. It's good to really be back. Things have been active.
Really?
Excellent.
Well,
Nice.
that is cool. I think.
Right? I guess it depends what kind of active.
We think. Yeah, it depends on what. Yeah, exactly. So, Heidi, what's happening with you? So this is the first time we've been together in studio for
Like
a while.
a month.
I guess
maybe?
when you were on last, we might have been together.
I don't remember.
I
It
don't
doesn't even
remember.
matter. It's been a while.
It doesn't, but it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Because
So,
schedules just didn't
yeah.
permit us to be in the same location, but we are tonight. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, it's been good. It's been crazy. We were in Boyd, Minnesota at their paranormal convention on Saturday, which was really cool. It was really fun. It was busy. I mean, for a town
Was
of
it?
Yeah, way out
less
in the
than
middle of nowhere.
500 people, it was very busy, and we had a good time. People were coming from North Dakota. They were coming from Rochester, which was like a 5-hour drive.
That is.
I
far.
mean, they were coming from all over Minnesota. They were coming from Iowa. And so it was busy, and we had a good time. It was really fun.
People are hungry for paranormal
Yeah.
conventions because we used to have the big one up in Monoman that we
Mhm.
loved so much, and then they stopped doing that. You know, I heard tell of another one that's starting this year up in Brainerd.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So
All right.
we can't get there this year because it's just time is too short. But
haven't heard of
maybe
it.
next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Up north. It's called Up North Paranormal Convention.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah. Right. So
Cool. Yeah, it was really fun. We had
Yeah.
really good time, met a lot of cool people, and just had a blast. So,
awesome.
How did your presentation go?
it was good. It went really
Yeah.
well. I was surprised. What was fun is they had a bunch of chairs. It was downstairs, and people just kept coming and coming. We ended up having to get like 15 more chairs to set up because it was like packed and there was no room to sit. So I was kind of happy about that.
Oh,
I thought,
absolutely.
oh yay. So
It's
people
That's
were
awesome.
interested, and I think it went well.
Yeah.
It was an hour, which is not enough time
No. Well,
because there's so much to talk about. Anyway, it was fun. We had a good time.
very cool. Very cool.
Your presentation was an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Again, not enough time with the questions, and I kept it on track. Like you guys don't know me and presentations. Like I had my outline and I had it in front of me and I followed it, and we
She's
were
very
going to town,
prepared. Yeah.
and it was like we got to keep going, and people were like, "Oh, this is so interesting. I have these questions." I'm like, "You don't understand. We got to keep going." And people start coming like, is this over? Can we get to the next one? I'm like, So anyway, it was fun. It was great. We had a good time.
That's awesome. You know, when you can finish something and feel like we could have talked about a little bit more, that's
Yeah.
instead of a lot of times, struggling to get to the finish line.
Fading out.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
always-
End on a high, maybe.
Did you have a lot of audience interaction?
Oh yeah. a ton. They had great questions, which was awesome. And then it's like, well, I still have so much more to get through, So
Yeah, keep
anyway,
talking.
it's just, they had questions. I wanted, I had good stuff to talk about, but so it was just great back and forth, and we had a blast. We had a great time.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That was a good show we had last week with the woman from what's her name from the Boyd House?
That was 2 weeks ago. That was Jill Shelley.
2 weeks. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That
So
was good.
yeah, she's awesome. She did a great job with the event. So
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Now it's the
Was
ghost.
was that the first time they had that, or have they had a few of those?
nope, that was their first paranormal convention. So
Oh wow.
they did a great job.
That's great.
Mhm.
That's great.
Yep.
Very cool.
I've put those together. It's not an easy task. That's for sure.
Hard.
I definitely commend anybody that puts together one, and when you can say that it went well, that's a good thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep. It was great.
Absolutely.
So awesome.
For sure. So yeah, and our team, not the whole team, but many of us on the sim crew went to Iowa for what we called a paranormal vacation, because we went to a couple of locations that are known to be paranormally active, and you have to pay to play, actually.
Uh-huh.
We went to this old hospital in Oskaloosa, which is, I don't think a lot of people have done that one. And active. Yeah, we were there from, I think, 6:00 at night until 11:00 the next morning. So it was like a whole overnight, oh my gosh, craziness. And it was just fun. Would I like to go back? Yes, I would like to go back. I would like to do it a little bit differently and take 2 nights. The gal who owns it is fantastic. She is not a paranormal investigator. She's scared to death of this stuff, because I talked to her when she was showing us through the old hospital. I said, are you a paranormal investigator? And she said, no. And I said, have you done anything, in this, vein? And she said, yep. The very first time we did this was with a couple of guys who own something else down in Iowa, and I can't remember where. But she said, oh, yeah, there was stuff going on, and they had those tripwires, the light up ones, and they had asked a question. And of course, these things started going off, and she said, I'm done. I'm out of here. I never want to do this again. And that was it. And of course, I did send her a couple pictures that we had gotten that were pretty phenomenal. And she's like, oh my God, you guys. Well, I'm so glad you guys had fun, and I hope you come back, and I said, we probably will, it was really good. But then the second night we did for our school, which we were there once before. And I told you that, and I know people have had success there. When we were there, it was probably about 8 or 9 years ago, we had nothing happen. And we were there this time, and not much. I mean, I wouldn't go back there. Now, the last hour of the investigation, so they do it differently now. It's a whole screen. I think one of the pictures that I have is the control room, and they have, it's very controlled. They have a gal that's there that takes care of it. That's the hospital. Yeah, we have some pictures. So that is the control room of for our school.
Oh yeah, that wasn't there last time we were there.
Yeah, that is the boiler room.
Which
they say is the most haunted. There's the wacko sim crew in front of the school.
Yeah,
because we just have to be crazy. That's who we are. But
we lost Alan there briefly. While Alan's getting back on, is this the hospital then?
That's the hospital. Yep. So
Okay.
It's a small hospital in a small town in Iowa. Very, very poor. Really needs a lot of work. She would like to make it into a boutique hotel. There's Annie.
she wants to make that into a boutique hotel.
She does. And
that's going to take a lot of work.
I think it would be a really cool thing. But I told her, I said, the roof needs to be replaced. I said, honey, we're looking at millions of dollars. And she said, I know. But it's attached to what used to be the clinic. So a clinic was built I don't know, after the hospital had been in existence 40 or 50 years. And so the clinic now, she has it as like an art, kind of reminds me of this place, right? Because there's all kinds of different businesses in there.
Mhm.
And then it's attached to the hospital by, a stairwell. And of course, the hospital's all padlocked. But where we stayed was in the library in the clinic. And so that was safe and that was fine. And that was like the control center, nerve center, whatever. Very cool place. I would love to go back. I think it was fun for us because it was paranormal vacation, right? It was fun. We could do what we wanted to do. There were really no protocols to follow, right? Because we weren't in somebody else's space. We didn't have a client. It was just us being us, and it was fun. That for our school, I didn't expect that we would see things or find things. So I kind of went in there with that mindset. But the other groups, we split into two groups, and Dez's group did have some things happen at the last hour. So we were there from like 10:30 until 3:30. And my group went back to the hotel at 2:30 because we were exhausted. We had no sleep the night before. We're running on nothing, And so we went back to the hotel, but they stayed for the rest of the time, and they did have some things. So I'm excited to see if they caught anything because, like I said, for me, it's just an old school. It's cool, but but it was fun. It was a fun road trip, paranormal vacation. I said maybe next summer or next fall we'll do the same thing, because it was just kind of fun, kind of zany.
And what town was that in?
Well, for our school is in a different place. I don't know what the name of the town is. It's like northeast of Des Moines.
Des Moines. It's not far from Des Moines at all.
Right. And the hospital is in a really small, well, it's actually not a very small town. It's kind of a bigger town, but it's southwest of Des Moines, probably about 2 hours. So, that was a cool place. I enjoyed that. And like I said, I'd like to do that again. And not very many people go there to do this because she doesn't advertise. She doesn't, I said, how often do people come through here? And she said, oh, maybe once a month. And I'm like, well, I think we can help with that. And she's like, I would love it. So you never know. You just never know.
Yeah.
I've got a question that something you just touched on and said. You said something to the effect that you were on a paranormal vacation and you had a different mindset.
Yes.
You didn't have a client. You were just there by yourself to have fun. Now, do you think that state of mind would help in a different situation for a researcher going into someplace?
Maybe. I mean, like I said, we were unfettered. There were no protocols.
Yeah.
Right. Of course, we're serious about what we do, and we're all paranormal investigators. So it's not like we go in there lily wampus. And we did have people that weren't a part of the team that came to, friends. So this was their first experience, and one of them actually wants to join the crew. So I don't know. It's kind of wild, how this happens. But so it was different. And I let the girls do what they wanted to do. I didn't step in. I just said, where do you want me? I'm here to do what you want me to do. And that's what we did. It was very fun not to be kind of one of the people that kind of make the decisions on what we're going to do. You know what I mean? So it was pure fun for me. It was fun, exhausting.
So
I still don't think
a little less pressure then.
You what?
A little less pressure then.
Yes.
Honestly, a lot of times, especially like when we go live or something, you're like, well, I need something to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Something happened, especially when you got the video, and then the star never shows. You put all this effort into things, and then the stars, they don't show up.
Right. Yeah. So, I don't know. It was fun. The hospital was very cool. I would go back there in a heartbeat, and I think all the rest of them thought they would like to go back to. So maybe next fall, version 102, but it was fun. It was fun. So we're all going through our evidence. We're all getting together on Saturday. So hopefully most of us will have it done, but we're talking 2 full nights of all kinds of stuff. So who knows, but at least if we can get some of it done, it'll be fun to see what we caught. So anyway, so that's my story.
Nice.
But Sim, of course, it's October, so we have just all kinds of things going on this month. So yeah, we're busy. But Alan, so coming from your end, what is going on up north? You said that things are happening up there in your neck of the woods too.
Did we lose Alan?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's been, yeah. No, I'm still here. Can you?
Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, all right. Yeah, it's Bigfoot's been active close to the area.
Yeah.
There's been somebody found a footprint not too far from here,
Oh, cool.
Wow.
within about a mile.
Wow, a mile. Super
Yeah,
close.
it was actually a good print,
Oh, wow.
and I went out to try and cast it,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, I had the mixture wrong and screwed it right up.
Oh,
That's
bummer.
Whoops.
Bummer.
was-
It happens. It happens.
It was, yeah, it didn't get solid fast enough or something, and messed it all up. But locally, yeah, there's footprints popping up here and there.
Cool. Well, hopefully you'll have another opportunity.
Do you think you made your mixture too watery? Is that what you think?
I think it was too watery.
Mm-hmm. That's a fine line to walk, because you want to get details and you want it to pour in there, but you also want it to someday dry.
Yeah, well, you'd
Mhm.
hope it's going to be dried within the next couple hours or something like that.
Yeah, that's a fine line to walk there.
Yeah.
I have a buddy that what he does, he mixes up, and he kind of does it in two pours. Donald Slovey, we did a interview with Donald Slovey, and he was telling us that he'll make his mixture a little thinner for the first pour, so that he can try and catch the details, and then he thickens it with a second pour. And he's got some fantastic casts. And honestly, I haven't had the opportunity to try his technique, but he had passed that on to us about, pouring thin at first and then thickening with a second pour, and then that in turn would dry.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try and look at some different techniques now, because that's actually probably the second one I ruined.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Oh,
Not a very good spotter if I can't pour.
Uh-huh.
wow.
I made one once with spray foam.
I
You know,
remember.
the expanding foam, and it came out all right. It wasn't a great cast like for Sharon or something, but it was also the first one I'd ever done, and it was all right. It was all right. Definitely didn't have I definitely was disappointed in the lack of definition that I was able to capture on it. But yeah, we used that spray foam. And
worth a test.
which also dries really fast. You don't
Yeah,
have to wait a couple hours for that stuff. And we gave it a try, and that was, yeah. We've got it actually hanging in the tire shop now.
Yes, I've seen pictures. And
Yeah.
I know we always wanted to get Donald Slovey on. He said, she said, but we could never get him on for whatever reason.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
he's got a fantastic collection of casts. He's probably got 150 to 200 different casts.
Crazy.
Yeah, just fantastic.
Wow.
Fantastic. He had a video that went that was pretty viral for a while. It was called the Oh My God Bigfoot, because he was with his ex-wife, and she kept saying, and it was like a 4-minute long video, and you can see Bigfoot, pacing off in the distance there, and she kept saying, oh my God, Don, oh my God. And so we kind of dubbed it the OMG Bigfoot, because she probably says it like 30 times. Oh my God, as they're filming, and it goes back and forth. And he's only about he's about 15 miles from where I'm at here. And he's just fantastic casts. And he's really good at those, at capturing those. It's pretty impressive. We were when we did our interview with him, he brought his collection of his best casts out into the yard, and it was just, there were just dozens of them, and then there were some that were small and some that were huge, and then he's got a couple that are like encased in wooden cases with like plexiglass and like velvet and stuff. And I have a picture somewhere of when I did do the our Bigfoot gathering, or our paranormal gathering. I got to help him present and hold that, and I was just tickled pink about that. That was really cool. But yeah, he's just a guy here in Spartansburg, PA, that just has a lot of activity and goes out all the time, and it has never made a dime from it, and just been doing it for a couple decades now. And really impressive guy. But at the same time, he's also like, it's hard to pin him down, like for a phone stuff and all that. But great
he's
fun.
He's a super nice guy. He's a super nice guy, because we're friends on Facebook. So yeah, he's a real sweetie pie.
We dubbed him the Master Caster.
Yes. with good reason.
Yeah. So if you're ever in Cryptovania and you see anybody mention the Master Caster, that's Donald Slovey.
Got it. Good name.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah. I think another guest came up with that. What's that, Alan?
No, I was just going to say, probably general observations in this area where I'm at, geographically located. We're approaching fall time, and it seems like the activity is slowly picking up with regards to movement, travel, and those kinds of things. Close observations to First Nations in the area. I get comments to the effect like, "Oh, they're on the move again." Footprints spotted in ball fields, close to garbage dumps, stopping to have a snack, those kinds of things. And they seem to be traveling in certain directions. This one area, they were headed east. And in another one, they were headed west. A small, I would say probably 2 or 3 at different times. You can look at the direction of the footprints. So it's almost they're traveling, not sure why, but it's just a study of movement. And it's the same way, and it's also like that in the springtime. Locally, they seem to be going in a different direction. They head the other way almost.
Do you think that would be seasonally affected, or do you think that it would be like affected by an event?
I'm thinking seasonally. Yeah, I'm not sure what that would be about, but seasonal movement. I wouldn't say migration, but just movement.
Not like they're going very far, just kind of moving areas.
That's right. And here's another thing, being noticed.
Yeah. And I've heard that, Alan, when we've been up in that area around the borderlands, we have heard that from other researchers too, that they seasonally, like spring and fall, they all seem to be more active and directional. For sure.
Interesting. That is really interesting.
It is.
Kind of similar vein here. In the fall, Kinzu Reservoir, they a lot of times ends up getting kind of the water levels drop. and when the water levels drop, it exposes these mud flats that are awesome for trackways. Sometimes you can find like
Yeah.
long trackways, like 100 yards or more. And they'll actually cross the reservoir. So you almost wonder about like low water and high water in the creeks and stuff, would that on creeks and lakes, would that, impede or benefit movement? That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Another place I check is sand pits. There's a lot there's a lot of deforestation due to mining and those kinds of activities up here. There's a big increase in that kind of activity. So with that kind of more forestry oriented type business with mining opening up, there's a lot of clear cutting.
Yeah, which is bad.
It is bad. Unfortunately, it is bad. But on a side note, you do find footprints and those kinds of things in those areas. I mean, I've also found what do you call them? The upturned tree, like with the root sticking out of it. Yeah, I found one of those in a deforested area. It's almost.
Oh, really?
I thought that was a message, like Sasquatch is,
Yeah.
Well, and Alan, haven't we talked about this before? But it seems like when they're doing these awful things, these clear cuttings and horrible things to Mama Earth, that's when Sasquatch tends to be more active, because he's telling people, look what you're doing. You're killing yourselves. You're killing our environment. You're killing Mama Earth,
So that would kind of lend itself to like that the increase in movement would be kind of not seasonal, but in response to something happening.
Yeah.
An event oriented type.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because then you even wonder, like, even like the vibrations of heavy machinery. I know, I know, like snakes and stuff don't like when around here there's a lot of oil drilling rigs and stuff, and it used to be that we would when you'd go into an area, you'd suspect you'd see a lot of snakes and stuff, but it was just the opposite, and eventually did some research. They don't like the way the vibrations that a lot of heavy machinery or like drilling rig or something, it creates vibrations and stuff, that may mess with frequencies or make them uncomfortable. And that kind of goes along with the conversation that we had last time you were on, Alan, about frequencies. Using frequencies as camouflage. You also wonder if Biggie's very sensitive to other frequencies and vibrations, and would leave an area, or maybe would get agitated, maybe not quite leave, but get irritable and agitated, or like on edge.
That's who also, sound carries.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're just off chilling in the woods by yourself and all of a sudden you hear heavy machinery.
Yeah. It's gross.
Yeah.
I don't like it myself. They're redoing my alley. Drives me crazy. Absolutely drives me crazy. So kind of the same thing.
It used to be a few years back. I made my living mostly servicing like skidders and stuff, log skidders, and we would go deep out into the woods servicing them, because they get flat tires, and somebody's got to go in and jack them up and use bars to pull the tires off and get the tube out, and it would be kind of a tougher job, and there would be two of us, unless it was Tommy Cooper, and then he'd just go out by himself. but it also it gave us a chance to see some really wild areas, and so we would get done, get the skidder going, and then we would make our way home, and maybe accidentally get lost going this way or that, and the whole time on the clock too. That was the beauty. Getting paid to go squatching.
Yes.
Those are the best hours.
Love it.
Yeah. And so we used to go, but a lot of times those would be like a smaller crew as opposed to like a mining operation or something where you have one or two cutters and a skidder operator. You would have much less disturbance and vibrations and stuff. You'd have some, and loggers have always been for us a great source of good pictures and pictures of things in the woods, and same with some trackways and stuff, and they don't seem to, and maybe it is because the machinery's not as making as much of a disturbance, but they don't seem to be too scared of the loggers.
Interesting.
Yeah. And a lot of times when you do log a place, it ends up being kind of unattractive, but very productive for wildlife and stuff. Like when you start getting blackberry thickets and stuff like that, and same with elderberry and stuff, you definitely get a lot of wildlife. Bear love them and stuff. And I've always wondered if Biggie is a berry picker or not. It would take a lot of wild blackberries to fill Biggie.
That's true. Well, I love those wild blackberries. Let's just say,
Yeah. And you wonder though about those kind of what kind of influences that we have unintentionally, and especially around larger operations like that.
For sure.
Yeah. Get you thinking.
Yeah. Well, you guys, this time has gone by super fast. So, Alan, we'll have to have you on again. You do some more research going on up there this fall, and then I know the girls, I think we're going out on Sunday morning, maybe for a little while to our research area. So we'll see. We haven't been there for a very long time. Very long time. It's been a long time. So I'm kind of excited. So we'll see what we can find.
I was just curious about your research area. Is that just a general place you guys kind of go all the time?
It's really close to the cities. I think I told you about this at Bigfoot Days. Yeah, it's about 25 miles north of the cities, and it's in public lands. There's a lot of Bigfoot activity there, and we have actually Sim has clients at the southern end of where we go that have had experiences with Bigfoot. So you would never believe how close to this huge metropolitan area they are. It's crazy.
Wow.
If people knew this, I think they would be scared to death,
Urban Bigfoot.
Yeah. You know what? I've never come across a tree structure.
Oh, really?
Just that thing just that overturned. Yeah, I haven't. I've looked for them. But yeah, I'm gonna have to. You're always posting
I will send you
pictures.
some pictures, Alan, because I'm sure we'll find some this weekend. But so I'm excited. We'll start going out more now. Of course, the month of November is deer hunting season, so we're kind of out of the woods in November. But we'll get back to it again because we've been kind of out of it, and Sim's been really busy. So, we only have so much time when we all have full-time jobs too.
True.
So,
hey, Alan, I have a question for you. Is it about time for? Are you doing a brown rice or wild rice harvest this year?
Rice.
Yes, I've already done it already.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure what time of year you did that.
Yeah, well, actually, the harvest had been done about a week ago, and I'm just at the point now where I'm in the process just cleaning my wild rice.
Cool.
I remember when you brought us all those pounds of wild rice, and oh my gosh, they were so good. They were so good. Oh my gosh, they were fantastic. So,
Have you ever heard of any tales of encounters with Biggie around what the wild rice patties?
Around the wild rice patties? No, not at all.
No, that's interesting because you'd think that
Yeah.
would be a possible food source for him.
You know, it would be, but then again, it's probably another 5-10 feet into the water from the shore. Whether or
mhm,
not he don't like to get his feet wet or not.
mhm. Or
Oh,
maybe it's
that's
too deep.
interesting.
Who knows?
Get a 500-pound guy going into a swamp. How far is he going to sink?
Yeah,
Right.
you never know.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's a low carb diet.
Yeah. There you go.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh. Well, awesome. Well, I think we'll have to close the show for tonight. Alan, let's get back with you later this year or maybe the beginning of next, and we'll compare Bigfoot notes again. And
All right.
Trost, did you have something, a video or something you wanted to play?
No, I
before we
ended
go?
I ended up never being able to go grab that.
Okay.
No,
All right.
no. So I just have
Sorry.
the outro video.
just-
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I got distracted.
All right. Well, that's cool. So anyway, so thank you, Ellen, for coming on
Yep.
the Paranormal Smorgasbord. Whenever you want to join in on these Paranormal Smorgasbords, please feel free. It's around the table, right? So just let us know.
All right.
And thank you everyone for watching the Gathering Paracast today.
Yes, and everybody in the chat room, thanks for joining in. And to Jason, our producer, thank you so much for pulling this together. And Cryptovania TV for hosting us. We love being here. And we'll see you guys next week. We hope that we'll have a special little show next week.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. We might be live in some kind of places where we've had experiences in separate locations.
Yeah.
but
So we're
tell
gonna
all
see.
about it.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
So,
Well,
all
my
right.
interest is deep. Nice. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
It'll
good
be
night,
fun.
everybody.
Okay. Good night, everyone.
Good night, Alan.